Hi friends, welcome to the Blue Sky Lounge, a Disney Imagineering podcast. This is episode 25 and I am your host, Tyler Iantkow. The Blue Sky Lounge is a podcast where people can come and share their blue sky ideas for the Disney parks around the world. Do you have any ideas for an attraction, a restaurant, or an experience? Well, the sky is the limit, money is no object, and we want to hear about it and discuss it. Now, if this is your first or 50th time to the show, welcome. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or on YouTube, and you can go back and listen or view to our past episodes. Now, our guest this week is Nick, and he and I are going to discuss the new Toy Story hotel that is going to be open in Japan later this year. So please welcome Nick to the show. All right, well, today we have Nick with us. Nick, how are you doing today?
Doing great.
Excellent.
Thank you for asking. Thanks for having me on.
All right, so our topic today, we put out a call a couple weeks ago for people that wanted to talk about the new Toy Story hotel being built overseas, and you were one of the first ones to say, like, yeah, let's talk about this thing. So let's just jump right into it. What is it about this Toy Story hotel that kind of intrigues you the most?
I think for me, it's the way that it's going to be structurally built.
Okay.
From what I've seen on the concept art, it looks like the way they're treating this hotel would probably be how they would treated Toy Story Mania or the Toy Story Land.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is something that could be in Andy's backyard or in his room or something like that. So like, oh, well, this could be, you know, or now maybe Bonnie's backyard or Bonnie's back room, where she could say, okay, I have took this dollhouse, added a lot to it, and this is where all of my toys get to spend the night or whatever.
Yeah.
Very much how little kids use dollhouses.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So I like the way it looks. I really am looking forward to how they're going to execute that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that's the case. I mean, I don't really know if that's their full intention. I assume it is.
Yeah. That was one of the first things I noticed when I saw the concept art is how they still make it seem like you are, you know, still going into Andy or Bonnie's backyard, and you're being shrunk down to the size of a toy, and you're going to be staying in this, you know, structure that the kid built overnight kind of thing, and it's built for the toys to stay in. I think that's so cool and so smart for Disney to do that, because they could build something similar to like the Art of Animation Resort in Orlando and have like a Toy Story wing and just have it be like, you know, like a hotel wing with or even think of like Pop Century, where they have like the Buzz Lightyear and the Woody outside the buildings there. You could have something like that. But I think the fact that, you know, Disney is going that little bit of an extra mile to you know, shrink you down to the size of a toy, and you are going to be there, you know, kind of almost as if you're playing in the backyard with the other toys. I think that's a really cool concept, and I know that's one of my favorite things when I go to like Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios. The fact that you walk in there and you feel like you are like an ant. Okay, this is what I feel like. I feel like literally like a Green Army Man, because if you look at a Green Army Man compared to Woody, it's about the same size of like the Woody that's standing up at the front of the land. So yeah, I feel like a Green Army Man when I walk into Toy Story Land. So, and I love it. I think it's so cool. And, you know, like Andy builds this, you know, Slinky Dog Dash roller coaster, and you know, Toy Story Midway Mania and stuff like that, and like the imagination that the Imagineers put into the story of the kid building this is just outstanding and so immersive, which is a lot of fun. What do you think are going to be the really big key features of this hotel?
I was thinking about what they would do with the pool. I haven't been paying too close attention, so forgive me. I don't know if anything had been released about the pool.
Yeah.
But what I would like to see is if they kind of constructed a kind of like a pool that was a result of like a garden hose.
Okay.
And that's where the water came from. So
cool.
you have like this this kind of Lego-ish looking platform. That's how the pool was made.
Mhm.
And then you have this kind of it's the only thing I can think of at the moment. This kind of like Nickelodeon hotel pool thing where the garden hose is just kind of slinking around the pool up to this water bucket.
Okay.
Which is a Mr. Bucket toy.
Yeah.
They have the rights.
Yeah.
And then that would, when the water gets to the top, it would tip over, and then water would spill all over the kids and the guests and the swimmers and everything. And as for the hose in itself, if there is going to be a kiddie pool section, which I assume there will be,
right?
Because it is Toy Story, they would have like a little kiddie pool as a result of one of the leaks from the hose.
Oh, so that's smart.
The water would be able to spill on this like tiny little puddle, and that way that's the kiddie pool. So you have the kiddie pool there, and the main pool would be like this Lego-like structure.
Yeah.
Like I want to say, like we'll go with offhand. We'll go with like 6 feet deep at the most.
Okay.
At the deep end.
Yeah.
Then I think maybe the structure itself. This probably isn't new, but I'm thinking offhand. Maybe the structure of the bucket spill itself will be made out of like Lincoln Logs and Tinker Toys.
Yeah.
And, like to give it that kind of toyish feel.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like steel beams and things like that.
Yeah. That's really cool. I never thought of that. The first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking of the pool was the short Partysaurus Rex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I just imagine the pool being the at the end of that short, all of the outside water toys want Rex to come out and throw them a party and turn the water on and stuff so that they can have fun outside. So I envision the pool is outside and you're partying in the pool with Partysaurus Rex. I think that would be a lot of fun. You could have like, you know, like laser lights and disco stuff come on at like nighttime to represent the party and have like a dance party for 10 minutes and bubble machines can go off and you can have bubbles going off everywhere. And then the party stops after like a 10 minutes party kind of thing. And, you know, it happens like every 45, 50 minutes on the hour kind of thing. I think that would be a lot of fun. And you have like Rex like standing in the middle of the pool with like a big water hose like spinning around, so he's like spraying water everywhere. I think that would be fun. Nice. The really cool thing I like about your idea with the hose is I really like the idea of the splash bucket, but I also think that it would be really fun if you could build a water slide out of the garden hose. And you could like it's like you're going around the slide, the garden hose as a slide, and then the water coming out of the hose for the slide is what's filling the pool. I think that would be really cool too. But there's nothing saying that you can't have multiple hoses filling this pool either, right?
It's also really true.
Kids love playing with hoses and making mud puddles and everything, so I totally get that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I really like that idea. Let's go away from the hotel really quick, but still stay on Toy Story. What is your favorite Toy Story movie? Which film is your favorite film?
It's a toss-up between the first and the second one.
Really? Okay.
Now, I really, really do enjoy the third one.
Yeah.
But that's mostly because, you know, that film was marketed towards our generation that just kind of grew up with the previous two.
Yeah.
Whereas the first movie, it is really fascinating to see Pixar's animation from then up until right now.
Yeah.
But Toy Story was like, as we know, when it came out, that was like the Snow White,
Yeah.
but with CGI.
Yeah.
And so I really love watching it for that aspect. I really love watching it in a way with that in mind, to say like, oh, this is like a new animation studio introducing us to these types of characters and the dynamics, and they didn't really like each other from the first go.
Yeah.
And it took a lot for them to be, to get to the "you got a friend in me" type feel at the end. But that's part of the enjoyment of it. I feel like, the dynamic between all of them. And the second one I really enjoy, but chiefly because of a childhood memory. That was like one of the first movies that I saw in the movie theater.
Okay.
And I think it was also like the first movie that I saw that could introduce new characters in a sequel, but not treat him as like a one-note thing, particularly Jessie. As a kid, I was like, oh, she's the cowgirl that like yodels and screams and it is scared. Okay, I don't see what the big deal is. And then her song comes on.
Yeah.
And I'm in a puddle of tears. I was like, whoa. So I really love those two. I really love those two a lot.
I definitely, you watch Toy Story 4 and you watch Toy Story, and like you can see the leaps and bounds that Pixar has taken to what they're doing today with filmmaking. But when you look at Toy Story just on its own, it still holds up really well for like a CG film. Like the fact that it's like what, almost 25, 24 years old, something like that, 97.
Yeah.
Like it's held up really well, and the CG on it is a little bit more rudimentary, I think would be an okay word to use there. Where there's only so many things that they can do. I remember watching I think it was the Inside Pixar show on Disney Plus, where they talk about one of the animators talks about like all the movement points on Woody's face from the first movie to the last movie, and the fact that like I think it's like they almost quadrupled the amount of like points that you can emote with the face. So like his facial expressions can be like astronomically more, have an astronomical more amount than what they could have with the first one. So I think that's really cool that they have managed to grow that that technology as much as they have in the past 20 years. So very cool. My answer for that would be I love Toy Story 4.
Yeah?
Yeah. I hate that Woody stayed with Bo, but at the same time, I respect the decision, and I want to see both what happens with the Andy's gang that stay with Bonnie, and I want to see what happens with Woody and Bo, and see them, go with, go with the carnival as it travels around. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, to see and maybe like will come a point when Bonnie becomes like a teen or an adult or something like that, and then the carnival and her toys just so happen to be meeting up at the same place again after all this time. Like, whoa, it's you! And it's like, hey, I mean, goodness knows what'll happen from there.
Right.
But I wouldn't put it past them if that's going to be the potential next movie.
Yeah. What do you think they're gonna do with this Toy Story resort? How do you think they're gonna theme the hallways or the rooms or anything like that?
I wouldn't mind it if in the hallways they had the Pizza Planet carpeting. That
Oh,
would be cool.
that would be really cool.
And I know I already mentioned the Pizza Planet idea that I'm sure will hit. I don't know if it'll be just exclusive to that area, but that would be nice. Or at the very least, like the carpeting that's got like the little ball that they put in all in most of the Pixar films, the one with the
The
star.
little Pixar ball. Yeah.
Yeah, the little Pixar ball. Maybe some nods to a couple of other Pixar films in there, like subtle enough in the carpeting.
Yeah.
The wallpaper, I think, would more or less be the same thing. Like just hypothetically speaking, like just a simple like pattern where it has all of these bright colors, like I want to say probably the same color palette as Toy Story Mania on one floor. Maybe it has more of a pinkish palette on another floor.
Yeah.
Something like that. But as for the rooms themselves, this is where it gets tricky to Blue Sky because, as we mentioned, there are regular rooms and there are also family suites. There's also club suites. So, you gotta have to accommodate for all of those. But offhand, if I were to think of the regular room, they would be treated very much like how they do the all-star resorts in Florida, where you have a lot of busy furniture going on, but it's like busy. It's like not so busy where it feels like you're staying in one of the family suites. There's like enough theming where it still feels like a nice, cozy hotel room. So there would be pictures of Woody and the gang. Obviously, it would be on the bed comforters. It would be on the shower curtains. It would be on. There would be a couple of pictures on the wall. I think what would be a nice addition to the regular rooms would be if you took like the TVs, and you made a frame that was an etch-a-sketch kind of deal.
Oh, that would be cool.
So that would be the frame of the TVs.
Yeah.
And one knob would be to turn it on, turn it off, and the other knob. This is going for like old school TVs or radios in some cases, but the other knob would probably be like to be either it would be the volume adjustment. I was going to say the channel changer, but the volume's a little easier.
Yeah.
So that would, unless I'm missing anything, if we're talking about the regular rooms that are elevated and then like safe balconies made out of like offhand, I would say like Lincoln Logs.
Yeah. Lincoln Logs makes a lot of sense because it's wooden. I was thinking the Tinker Toys as well could easily be done for that. Or did you ever play with K'NEX when you were a kid?
I had a really big roller coaster, so yes.
Yeah. Yes, you could have it be K'NEX as well, and like a huge K'NEX set. I think that would be a lot of fun too. The one thing that I really hope gets put into this resort is the Luxo lamp.
Yeah,
you could have a Luxo lamp in every room that's like bolt, because everybody would want to take it, so you'd have to bolt it down to the table. Nobody can take it. But if you could have a Luxo lamp in every room as like a nod to Pixar and things like that, I think that would be really, really smart. You could even for the family suites, you could theme it to different parts of the Toy Story franchise. You could theme it. You could have one themed as like a Al's Toy Barn or something, and have if there's like a trundle bed that pops down underneath the TV, you could have pretend it looks like stacks of Buzz Lightyears on the shelf waiting to be bought, or like a pool party Barbie type thing for the bathroom, and have like Have like a pink kind of shower curtain. I think that would be a lot of fun too. But yeah, or you could have like, Toy Story 4, you could have a carnival room or something like that. I think that would be, a lot of fun. The other thing that when you were talking about Pizza Planet earlier, the first thing that popped in my head with that was the quick service, because almost all the hotels have some type of quick service restaurant. Why can't you have a Pizza Planet in there? Because not only is Pizza Planet a restaurant, but it's also a video arcade. So a lot of hotels have the video arcade too. So have, Pizza Planet and the video arcade and all in one area, and then it's two birds with one stone kind of thing. The nice thing too is that with Pizza Planet, obviously they're going to sell pizza, but you could sell a lot of other different items that aren't necessarily pizza. So you could sell, chicken, whether it be chicken strips, chicken nuggets, or, like a roast chicken type dinner for the adults if they wanted it or something like that. I think that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, because I was trying to think about food earlier and like what food is in the Toy Story movies. And it was actually my wife that's like, Pizza Planet is food. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even think of Pizza Planet. The first thing that came to my mind was from Toy Story 2, when Al's asleep on his couch and Bullseye is licking the cheesy puff
he's
powder off of Al's fingers. Yeah, they have like cheesy puffs, but I don't think there's any more food in those films. And my wife's like, Pizza Planet? Oh yeah, there's Pizza Planet. Of course there's Pizza Planet. Yeah, so I think that would be a really cool idea, is to have Pizza Planet as your quick service. The other thing that I think would be, if they didn't do this, it's a wasted opportunity. If you could have the Pizza Planet truck like jumped up on the curb, like the delivery guy just like left it there and was delivering a pizza inside the hotel at the entrance of the hotel, I think that would be really cool. And you could have it there as a photo opportunity, and people could like get their photo with it.
I was gonna say that'd be a perfect photo op, and
right?
If you even so wanted to, if they're tempted, you could leave the driver door open, so the photo op is people like getting in and like pretending to drive the truck, or something like that.
In the bed of the truck, you could have like a Woody toy in there. That would be a lot of fun. A nod to the first Toy Story. And you could even have, if they didn't open the front of the truck, you could have like Buzz Lightyear strapped in with his seatbelt, where he's like got the seatbelt across his chest. I think that would be really funny. The other thing that I was thinking is, like, obviously we don't know a lot about this hotel. We just know that it was announced. We've seen the concept art for it. We don't know how big this hotel is going to be. We don't know how many people it's going to sleep, if it's going to be an outside hotel or if it's going to be, like a hotel tower. We're not sure. My envisioning is, because most Disney hotels are outside with different wings and whatnot. I would envision each building structure to have their own separate theme even. So like with Art of Animation, there's the Cars buildings, and then there's the Lion King and the Nemo and the Ariel buildings. So like you could theme it to like what I was kind of saying earlier with different themed rooms. You could have not necessarily different themed rooms, but different themed wings would be the best way to put it. So you could theme it after, if you had 4 wings, you could theme it after Toy Stories 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, it's one way to do it. So very cool. Is there anything else that you can kind of think of that if you could put anything in this hotel, like what are the things that you would like to see in this hotel?
Well, I would like to share the whole Pizza Planet area in general with the viewers here. So when these guys put out the offer, okay, what would you like to see in here? I thought that I love Disney, but it always kind of had me intrigued that every time they had the opportunity to make an exact replica of Pizza Planet, they almost never did.
Yeah.
in the studios, there was a place that was called Pizza Planet, but it
Yeah.
didn't really look like it at all.
Nope.
It had like giant figures of the characters around it. So it's like, look, it's Pizza Planet. It's like, okay. And then the announcement for Toy Story Land comes out, and I'm thinking, oh, how cool. Maybe there will be a replica of Pizza Planet. Well, technically, it takes place in Andy's backyard. Okay, but what if there was a Pizza Planet toy kit that he could have bought? Now, instead we got like a little cart or something.
Yeah.
Like, okay, whatever. Now, for this upcoming hotel, I would really like to see a combination of the quick service dining hall
Mm-hmm.
and the game room,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a proper Pizza Planet setup.
Yeah.
You have the way that it looks in the first movie, more or less. You
Yeah.
have all the games there. You have the opportunity to just sit down and have a nice quick bite of pizza.
Yeah.
Structurally, it would feel like Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe and the Magic Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
I always go back to Magic Kingdom with these things, but structurally, it would feel more like that, where you could sit down, have a pizza, and
Yeah.
you know, like laugh a lot, share a lot of laughs. But the way that it feels is very much like a Pizza Planet type of deal. So you have one section that's the games, and then you have the other section that's the food.
Yeah.
And I really think that has some opportunity in there. I know that goes against our initial concept of, oh, this is just one big toy that Andy or Bonnie has built.
Yeah.
But who's to say that maybe, you know, they like to build a little section that's dedicated to Pizza Planet, and they
Never
try
know.
to replicate it as best as they can.
And as much as Disney is about, you know, continuity and making sure things flow smoothly, who's to say that you can't be a toy and then grow up into an adult? Because, you know, maybe mom's called dinner time and you're going to Pizza Planet for supper, so you turn into the kid that goes to Pizza Planet.
Yeah.
Right?
It would be like that's like more or less, that's kind of like how you're just simply walking from Adventureland to Frontierland.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of transitions to the next big adventure.
Yeah.
So that's really clever. I mean,
there's
really
nothing to say that you have to be the size of a toy this whole time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Pizza Planet is kind of the perfect opportunity for a quick service there. And like you said, like the Hollywood Studios one, as much as they tried, it definitely did not get enough wings to kind of put on the effect of the Pizza Planet from Toy Story. So like you said, like if they do a Pizza Planet type restaurant, I would hope that, like you said, they do it just like how it is in Toy Story 1, you know, that it's kind of more like darker and you know, black and purples and blues and greens and stuff, like, and like black light kind of lighting. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That's the thing too. It would be kind of like going off of what you said about the disco lights and the laser lights for the parties and for the pool at nighttime.
Yeah.
At nighttime at Pizza Planet, everything is blacklit. Yeah. Every single thing, to really give you that feel of like an old school blacklit pizza place, or like a blacklit mini golf indoor course or something like that.
Yeah.
Something to really make it look like it's popping and different from most of the other places in the hotel. I think that'd be neat.
I really want to, at a lot of the value resorts in Florida, they have access to the restaurant from the pool area or outside somehow. I would hope that they put like the two big robots that have like the pizza spears. And like as you walk up, it's like, welcome to Pizza Planet.
You are clear to enter.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. I would love that so much. Or actually, while we're talking about it, because you mentioned it with the Pizza Planet truck earlier, if you were going to go to the pool, or if you were going to go to the restaurant or the game area, it would be fun to have like a little "Where's Woody and Buzz" kind of game.
Oh, that'd be
Kind
cool.
of like it. This is sounding more theme parky-ish now, but they treat that like the rest of the hotel, so really who cares? But you have, so you know how Buzz and Woody were trying to sneak into Pizza Planet by like being in a chicken nugget box or
Yeah.
like a soda cup. You can have those on like a shelf somewhere in the corner
Yeah.
as like a little nod to that.
Yeah.
And like every now and again, like they're like peeking out of them or something.
That would be great.
And so you would have that. And in the Pizza Planet truck, no, that would be too close together. I was going to say one of my original ideas was that, as you're looking at the Pizza Planet truck, Woody's also kind of peeking out from the back.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Just kind of like looking back and forth or something. But I think then if that in that case, it really looks like the go-to place for this little fun feature to be would have to be the Pizza Planet, and then we'd be poking up from there.
Yeah.
Little hiding boxes.
You could even have like a scavenger hunt that kids could do. I know. I think it's Animal Kingdom Lodge in Florida has a scavenger hunt that kids can do, and they get like a little sticker or something at that whenever they finish it. But you could do like a Toy Story one, and maybe in like each wing or something, there's like different characters interacting, like the size of toys somewhere on a shelf or something. They're interacting with something, and they pop out every so often, kind of thing. You can kind of like write down like, oh yeah, it's on the shelf in this building by this thing, and then they'll know that you found it, kind of thing. But I think that would be really cool to see, like Woody or Buzz like pop out of the drink cup, or have like Mr. Potato Head pop out of a planting pot or something. So.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't have to be just Woody or Buzz. Like all the toys could be running around somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's up to the kids and their guide to find out where exactly they are.
Yeah. All right. Well, Nick, thank you so much for coming on to our show today. I really appreciate it. I loved all of the ideas that you had, and going back and forth and bouncing off one another was a lot of fun. I really hope that you can come back on again one time, and we can blue sky some other things.
I would love to.
Perfect,
blue
man.
Skying is one of my favorite things to do. Is to just say the word and I'm there.
Awesome, buddy. All right, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick, for coming on the show. We'll be right back. Enjoying your time at the Blue Sky Lounge? Be sure to check out our TeePublic store. Show your fandom what thinking, dreaming, believing, and daring yourself to use your imagination. Our store features adult and kids apparel, face masks, housewares like mugs or pillows, tech cases, and much more. To find your design, just follow the link in the description down below. We'll see you there. Now, our friend Shelby came up with a great idea for all you sleepyheads out there. Now, her idea was to have the room itself themed like the claw game from Pizza Planet in Toy Story, the original movie. And the claw would be above the bed, and when it is time to get up, if you keep snoozing the alarm, the claw would come down, pick you up, and actually pull you out of bed. Now, I'm sure that my wife would tell you that I am notorious for wanting to sleep in and snooze my alarms. But if I had an alarm that could literally pick me up, take me out of bed, and push me out the door to go get ready in the morning, I'm sure that would be a great help. Emily O_KTTW Travel had a similar suggestion to Shelby's as well, except hers was an actual claw machine with stuffed aliens inside of it. And of course this game would not work unless you were in a Pizza Planet. Now Nick and I did discuss this a bit earlier, but I totally agree that a true Pizza Planet, just like the one from the movie, would be a great addition to this hotel. And if you had the arcade aspect to it, I think that you're almost missing the opportunity to not have the claw machine there to pick up the actual stuffed aliens that are in the movie. I think that would just be kind of the cherry on top for the whole Pizza Planet. To actually win one of those stuffed aliens would just be the cherry on top. So thank you, Emily, for that suggestion. Now, both Starfree and
the Weekly Mouse came up with ideas for what sounds like attractions inside the hotel or the resort itself. Now, Starfree Ent had a really cool idea for a Buzz Lightyear VR attraction. Now, I'm going to blue sky this even more. What if we had a Buzz Lightyear VR attraction that went along with Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin? So when you get into the little rocket on Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, you put your VR headset on, and the blaster gun is connected to the VR headset. And when you kind of enter the main part of Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, your VR headset makes it seem like you're traveling to the Gamma Quadrant of Sector 4. And instead of having this be based off of the Toy Story movie, maybe this attraction is based off of the Buzz Lightyear cartoon that they had in the early 2000s. So you could have characters from that cartoon, like XR, come on and be part of this adventure with you. I think that would be a lot of fun. You don't see a lot of reference back to that Buzz Lightyear cartoon from the early 2000s. So I think that would be a really cool idea. Thank you so much, Starfree Ent. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that suggestion. It was a really cool one. And the Weekly Mouse also had a suggestion for a ride, but it was for the Slinky Dog Dash roller coaster. Now it's not unheard of to have roller coasters at a resort. There are many resorts in Las Vegas that had roller coasters. For instance, the New York resort in Las Vegas has a roller coaster in it. So it's not unheard of to have that. I think it would be a lot of fun. You could have it so that maybe this Toy Story resort, I don't know what the layout's going to be like, but if it was like a U shape, and down here at the bottom of the U, that's where check-in is going to be, and then you have two wings going off on either side, and you have this big green space in the back where the pool and stuff is. So Slinky Dog Dash could go around the whole outside green space area where the pool is and whatnot, and have maybe the loading bay could, or the loading station could be inside the resort or just outside the resort. I think it's totally plausible, and you know, if hotels in Vegas can do it, why can't Disney hotels? I think that's a great idea. So thank you so much, the Weekly Mouse. And lastly, SW Evangelatos 10 suggested to have an interactive Buzz Lightyear in Spanish mode. Now, I think this would be an absolutely great character meet and greet. What if you could meet Buzz Lightyear and he seems normal, and then all of a sudden you get up there and he kind of has the facial expressions like Spanish Buzz does, where especially when he like starts to dance and salsa. I think that would be really funny. You can see him go into these crazy dance routines. Maybe he can put like a rose inside of his mouth or something like that. I think it would be absolutely hilarious, and people would get an absolute kick out of it. I know I would. So thank you so much for that character meet and greet suggestion as well. Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Thank you to everyone who submitted these ideas. We love your blue sky thinking. And please join us next week when we are starting a Florida Pixar Park series, starting with a Cars Land area. Now head on over to our social media platforms to join in the fun. The links are on our website, theblueskyloungepodcast.com. And don't miss an episode by subscribing to our YouTube channel now, or to Apple Podcasts, and make sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts as well. Now, we'd like to note that the Blue Sky Lounge is not affiliated with the Disney Company in any way. This is a fan-run show featuring fan ideas and artwork that is in no way any true representation of what may or may not happen within the Disney Company in the future. Now, thank you for joining us this week here on the Blue Sky Lounge, and just remember to think, dream, believe, and dare yourself to use your imagination. Who knows what kind of blue sky thinking you can do from your armchair. Thanks.